Now that the battle for Earth has ended and peace reigns supreme between the Kree and the Skrulls, it's time for a party. All this and more in the pages of Empyre Aftermath Avengers issue number 1. Let's hop on in together and find out what happens next, shall we? So you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, this is an epilogue to the Empyre story. I don't need to read this. I'm sure there's nothing important that will go down. Well, you're wrong on several accounts. First and foremost, this issue actually opens with a pretty pivotal flashback to the day the Skrull homeworld was famously destroyed by Galactus. It's there we see the Skrull Empress talking with her daughter. They both think they're going to die, and because of that, the princess opens up about how she had a kid with Mar-ville. And this revelation ends up completely changing the Empress's mind. No longer is she dour, quite the opposite. She says she has something to live for now, a child out there, a promised leader who is both Kree and Skrull, someone who could bring the empires together under her control, naturally. It's after that the Empress actually ends up abandoning Teddy's mother on the dying planet to spirit herself away from safety. It's then we realize she's actually regaling Teddy with this story in the present. Ewing does a great job showcasing just how completely fractured the Skrull Empress's ideas on morality are. Oh, of course I let my daughter die, but it was for the greater good of my people. You're king now, Teddy, you'll understand. Also, you beat me and you think I probably hate you, but quite the opposite. I only respect power and strength, and if you did beat me, that means you are actually worthy of my love. And it's because she loves him that the Empress says that Teddy really should have destroyed planet Earth. Oh sure, the Avengers and everyone say they're your friend now, they're happy for you, but they'll turn on you. Because Earth will always fear something more powerful than itself, and the Kree-Skrull Empire has the opportunity to be something incredibly powerful indeed. But hey, all that doom and gloom can be put on the back burner for at least one day, right? Wiccan and Hulkling actually did get married in one of the previous Empire issues, but it was just a quickie in Las Vegas. Now they want an official royal wedding. Not just an official royal space wedding, but an official space royal Jewish wedding, no less. In fact, as we discover for Billy, when it comes to marrying the love of his life, it also comes with some new fringe benefits. He is officially now a prince of the Kree-Skrull Empire, an official consort, and court wizard. The party doesn't stop there either, as pretty much the entirety of the Mar-ville universe is invited to blow off some much-needed steam following the almost destruction of Earth once again in another big crossover event. Everybody who's anybody is there in a nice little snapshot of what's going on in Mar-ville in 2020. My personal favorite is Rocket Raccoon. Look at him, he's wearing a little suit. Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America share a toast too to the memory of Mar-ville, a man they knew who unfortunately is unable to be here now for the happiest day of his son's life. The three Avengers also reminisce over the fact that they actually didn't let Hulkling, Wiccan, and the other young Avengers officially become Avengers back during the day, and now, well, they regret it, and rightly so. There's more power to be ceded too. Carol Danvers, Captain Mar-ville, was made into the new Kree Accuser for the purposes of the war, but now she's actually giving up that title and power to her Kree sister, L'Oreal. Why? Well, because she's worth it, of course. So yeah, in short, Empyre was a story where everyone got what they wanted at the end of the day, and everyone was a lot happier. Well, except for Abigail Brand, though, former agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., agent of S.W.O.R.D., and also a high-ranking member of Captain Mar-ville's own Alpha Flight, but Brand is not happy here. After all, alien invasions are supposed to be her raison d'etre, and yet despite all of that, the Avengers and Fantastic Four didn't do anything to warn the organizations that sole job it is to protect Earth from alien invasion. Imagine all the people who didn't have to die if they were just willing to share. Or at least that's the way Brand sees it. Sue Richards justifies their actions by saying that they all needed to act quickly under the circumstances, and there's nothing saying that Alpha Flight wouldn't have just ended up making all the same decisions even if they were given a heads up. Brand, though, sees this as a very serious slight against her, makes a massive scene at the wedding, and quits before storming out. This is why it's up to King Hulkling to once again step on in and get his court back under control, something that actually earns him a lot of respect from Black Panther, who sees that he's really growing into the role as a ruler quite well. But of course, here's the other thing about being leader that they don't tell you about. It's not all just parties and glad-handing. Sometimes you have to clean house, and for Hulkling, that means dealing with Kl'rt the Super Skrull and Captain Victory. Kl'rt, if you don't remember, actually killed Teddy's adoptive mother and was a major force behind activating the Pyre. For his crimes, the Super Skrull is hereby ordered to never spill blood ever again, and will spend the rest of his days in the service of the king as, get this, an ambassador instead of a soldier. Ooh, that's gotta be a fate worse than death for him. Captain Victory would have been given the same deal too, but he actively refuses, saying, you might as well throw me in prison. I'm a super soldier. I fight for a reason, and you know what? A time is gonna come when you're gonna want me on your side. After all, part of the reason he helped the Empress with her little insurrection is because deep down he truly believes too that the Earth folk will turn on the new Kree Skrull Empire, and as we glimpse the future, turns out they might just be right after all, as we see a decimated Kree Skrull armada come under attack by Abigail Brand, who has seemingly restarted her organization SWORD as an arm of the Krakoan mutant government, and that a clash between these two major superpowers is inevitable as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Empyre Aftermath Avengers issue number 1, and not only was it a really good decompression issue, but it also had a lot of very important information to understanding the greater Empyre storyline. I think Ewing actually does a really good job re-establishing the original Skrull Empress as a force to be reckoned with, and perhaps an important character moving forward. Also, while this new Kree Skrull alliance is enjoying its ride to the top, they won't be staying there forever, because as their power grows, a clash with another superpower in Krakoa is inevitable. Heck, I kinda like what they're doing with Abigail Brand here too. After all, she had been kinda lost in the shuffle for a little bit, just being a supporting character in the Captain Marvel book. But now she seems to actually be breaking off on her own, and it seems that she may actually be the impetus for the next big cosmic event. Overall, I think I feel comfortable giving this one an 8.5 out of 10. This was a really good epilogue issue, and it has me excited for what the future may hold for Ewing and his Marvel-centric stories.
Hey there everyone, Cape Joel again, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. It really helps drive engagement and helps me out too. Also, if you are a patron, which you can become for as little as $1 a month, you will get exclusive content that no one else can ever see, and you'll get to see the Comic Multiverse podcast before anyone else too. You can check out all this and more down in the description. And until next time everyone, this has been Cape Joel, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers.